Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm going to give you a pretty thorough overview of the article here as opposed to read through the article in entirety. However, there is a link in the description if you'd rather go through that your good self. If you do appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. So let's have a quick look at the headline that's going to set the scene a little bit. An ISIS knife woman with no respect for life receives a suspended 9-year jail sentence. Why? For stabbing 2 women in Switzerland. So this is in regards to an incident that happened November 2020. This woman, and we don't know her name for legal reasons, but she's been found guilty of having attacked 2 women in a shopping mall. The women were attacked randomly, and she stabbed them. Now, there were no fatalities, but she was attempting to slit their throats. During this attack, the woman in question, who's a Swiss woman by the way, but the woman in question was shouting Allah Akbar several times. Allah Akbar means God is greatest. She was also shouting, I will avenge the Prophet Muhammad. She also shouted, I am here for IS, the Islamic State. So she was acting as a jihadist. Now, despite that, she has been found guilty. It happened in Switzerland. She's been found guilty in a Swiss court. But guess what the sentence is? That's right. It's a suspended sentence, meaning that she won't spend a day in jail unless and until she breaks any of the rules of the suspended sentence, So effectively, if she breaks probation, she'll need to go to jail. But up until that point, she won't. Let me remind you, she stabbed 2 women at a shopping store, attempting to slit their throats. She's been found guilty. It was definitely her that did this. She was definitely shouting Allah Akbar. She was definitely claiming support of ISIS, Islamic State. It's definitely her. It occurred at this shopping center that you see in front of you. It's called the Manor Department Store in Lugano near Bellinzona, Switzerland. Happened November 2020. One of the victims suffered a serious neck injury. The other sustained wounds on one hand and bravely managed to control this domestic terrorist until the police arrived. So why has she been given a suspended sentence? That's right. Well, she's claimed mental health issues. She's claimed psychological disorders. And the prosecutors have argued that she can't possibly be a terrorist because she lives in a fantasy. I mean, arguably, don't we all live in a fantasy? I mean, maybe we're all living in a simulation. Does it really matter if they're fantasizing or not? I don't know. But she was found guilty of repeated murder attempts. She was also found guilty of violating Swiss laws against association with Al-Qaeda, IS, Islamic State, and other Islamist groups. She's also been found guilty of unlawful prostitution, repeated unlawful prostitution, between 2017 and 2020. Don't know how relevant that is. Seems a little bit odd that an ISIS supporter is also a prostitute, but whatever. And again, she's been given a suspended sentence. Now, she does have to pay one of the victims a fairly substantial amount of money, 41,000 Swiss francs, approximately 42,000 US dollars, as compensation. I mean, that's a fairly substantial amount of money, but I mean, if you were to ask me, would you for $42,000, would you be happy to be stabbed in the neck? No, thank you very much. I'd rather not be stabbed in the neck. And that's really the details that we have. So we are told that the woman is born in Switzerland, as far as I can gather, the daughter of a Swiss father and a Serbian mother. She had some mental health issues from adolescence. She suffered anorexia. At the age of 19, she married a man of Afghan origin, and she converted to Islam. And there we have it. There we have it. So what do you think about that? Do you think it's perfectly fine for people, let's say women, let's throw that in there, because I guarantee the fact she's a woman has played a part in the prosecutor's decision to call for her not to be jailed. Can you believe that? The prosecutors are saying, oh, judge, don't be mean to her. She was anorexic, 5 years ago. God, don't be mean to her. I mean, she didn't kill anybody. Sure, she stabbed someone in the neck, but they didn't die. Oh, she's not really a terrorist. Okay, she was shouting Allah Akbar, but, she's a bit mental, isn't she? That's the prosecution saying that, asking the judge not to jail her. And that's what happened. There's absolute madness. It's disgusting. I don't know how the victims feel about this. Maybe they're cool with it. Oh yeah, got my $42,000. I'm happy with that. I don't know. Maybe they are. Some people are very, very forgiving, in my opinion, in a crazy way. But personally, I mean, it's good that the woman's going to be institutionalized. That's a good thing. But she's going to be released at a certain point. As soon as she ticks all of the right boxes, she'll be released, and she perhaps won't need to spend a single day in jail. And that's not good enough, Switzerland. That's not good enough. How is that going to act as a deterrent to any other potential terrorists? It's not going to act as a deterrent in the least. How does that show society that the government, that the judicial system will protect them? It doesn't show that in the least. It's sick. This woman should have been jailed for a very, very long time. Decades. Not given an absolute pass. So anyway, there's the full details of the subject. Do you appreciate the coverage of this? I think it's a pretty interesting topic. Have I done a decent enough job? Yeah, I have. I've covered all of the main points. I've thrown in a couple of questions and such, and I'm opening the door up to you guys to think about it and make a comment or two, which I may or may not reply to. But anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Take care.